Ooh, here's a good question from the Discord. HOTA released 2 new versions of the F6, the Plus and the Pro. Can you break down the differences? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, I don't want to just steal Oscar Leong's content. So I clicked the first link that came up, but I feel like if I just read Oscar Leong's article, that would be cheating. And so I'm going to not do that, but I wouldn't want anyone to think I had anything against Oscar Leong by clicking away from his page. I just want to like form my own opinions. So here's the HOTA F6 Plus and the HOTA F6 Pro. Is race day quads not? Race day quads. HOTA F6 Pro. There we go. We'll do the race day quads for both of them. Hello. Go. Go. Okay. F6 Plus, 1,000 watts, 60 amps. F6 Pro, 720 watts, 60 amps. F6 Pro, both of them quad channel. Both of them AC, DC, so they can plug into the wall. F6 Pro, $250. F6 Plus, $185. So the F6 Plus is 25% more wattage. No, 250 more watts. And $70 cheaper, $75 cheaper, $65. I am bad at math. Is this just like an older one? Let's keep looking at the features. XT90 input. 250 watts times 4 at 15 amps per channel. Doesn't say here. Let's look at the specs. Hello, specs. Specs. There we go, sort of. God forbid we get consistent specs. 15 amps max charge current times 4. DC 250 watts times 4. DC 180 watts times 4. AC. Oh, here's a difference. Okay. So the F6 Plus has a smaller AC power supply. The F6 Plus only does 500 watts when you plug it into the wall. The F6 Pro does 720 watts. The F6 Pro does its full wattage. 180 times 4 is 720. Okay, that's the main difference. The F6 Pro does its full 720 watts when powered off the wall. The F6 Plus has to have an external DC power supply to get up to 1,000 watts. It only does 500 watts when it's powered off the wall. So that's the main difference. I suspect the other specs are very similar. Yeah, the other specs are very similar. Okay, so the question is, number 1, do you need more than 500 watts of output power? If you're fine with 500 watts of output power, which is frankly quite a lot, then buy the F6 Plus. If you need more than 500 watts of output power, do you already own an external power supply, like a 1,000 watt power supply, like I have? You can't see it because I'm on the wrong camera, but if you have an external power supply that can go to 1,000 watts, then again, buy the F6 Plus. However, if you want the convenience of just plugging it into the wall without having to take an external power supply with you, or if you need 720 watts coming by plugging it into the wall without an external power supply, then you're going to pay extra for the F6 Pro. That's the answer. So, for example, the F6 Pro would make a great travel charger. Not in, it's freaking enormous and it's freaking heavy. I don't mean that. Like, I don't think you would throw it in your backpack, right? But if you're going to go on like a flight, if you're going to go on a trip and you're going to chuck a charger into your bag, like your check bag, and you want to get where you're going, you get to the Airbnb and just boop, boop, plug it into the wall. You got 720 watts with the F6 Pro. You're only going to get 500 watts with the F6 Plus. However, most people are going to be fine with 500 watts. Unless you're charging big Cinelifter batteries or things like that, the F6 Plus is significantly less expensive and will do the job for most people.